We'll get to the game phases, obviously, but can we ask how Will is first?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll obviously get him scanned on Monday. We'll all hope for the best. I'm just not sure.
What was his demeanour after the game? How did he feel?
Oh, he feels a little uncertain as well. So let's hopeful it's something less than what we all might think it is.
Because it looked like he was able to sort of put some weight on it when he was coming off though. Does it give you some hope that it might not be as bad as this?
You've got to live in hope, or that it's something a little bit less than an ACL. So we'll just see.
Does it dampen the mood after the win?
It's dampened my mood. I don't know. I haven't spoken to any of the players. I don't like to see that for any player at any club, any time. So.
Moving on, then at the end of it, you've pulled that game out in a really good fashion, particularly responding to the result against Melbourne last week and hanging on at the death to pinch it. So you talk a lot about learnings.
We didn't pinch it.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. I was,
no, you're right, mate.
I've got that the wrong way around.
You're right.
But yes, you would have said you took some learnings out of last week. Do you feel they were well applied?
Yeah, I think so. I think we handled that last block of 5 or 6 minutes pretty well, and psychologically it would have been hard because those boys were aware of what happened last week. So we never dodged away from what happened in the last part of that game, and we really reviewed it hard during the week, and you could see that they did the things that we talked about much better. So it was sort of, you prefer not to have that, not have the opposition come at you like that, but in another way, it's fortuitous that we actually got the opportunity to practice it. So, as we did some good work on the track and in the meeting room during the week, and it helped us.
And Cal Archie, he's had a very good week. He had a very good night.
Yeah. I've been impatient for Cal to play more football this year, and every time we've gone to pick him, he's got a soft tissue injury, or he played the other day against Richmond and played well and got concussed, and. So really pleased for him that he was able to get out there and do what he did tonight. He played a super game, kicked a goal at obviously a really important time. He's been working hard at his game for quite some time now, and he's such an honest person. And I think the role forward and wing really suits him. We toyed with half-back flank, and I think his heart's playing forward and wing. So he got the chance to show what he could do tonight, and he did it in a big game.
Another player that came back in and had an immediate impact was Dunkley. Obviously, you guys have been waiting for him to get in the past 2 weeks, and he just sort of picked up where he left off.
Yeah, look, the thing that shines out about him, he also saw the tackle in the last quarter. That's the stuff he does, and it's gold. And he brings leadership. You know, he'll stand under the footy, he plays tough. So it was good to have him back in tonight for a game against a team like Geelong, who test you out every step of the way.
What was it like sort of at quarter time and half time? Because it looked to the eye and to everyone that you were dominating, but you couldn't quite convert on the scoreboard. Were you always conscious of Geelong will come?
Well, you always think good sides have got an effort in them at some point in time, and so it was no surprise that they did. I mean, the margin. I don't know what Chris would have said to his players at three-quarter time, but I got a figure, and he might have said they're about the same number of points in front this week as they were last week, so let's test them out, which they did. And we talked about that at three-quarter time too, that, okay, it's the same scenario, boys. Let's see if we can do it a little bit better. So we're pretty open and honest about it.
Well, what did you think you did different this week? There's a bit of talk last week that you're a little bit safe and a few errors here and there. What changed?
Yeah, well, we just took the uncontested marks when they were there. We didn't kick it long down the line as often. Probably a little bit more boundary-centric. Didn't take too many risks. It wasn't perfect, but it was better.
You've been talking about this team defence for a while now, and you kept Geelong to allowed to kick to one goal deep into the third. That doesn't happen very often. What's that do to the sort of mentality of the side that's finals getting closer and closer? Like
yeah, it was good to win like that because Geelong are a really high-scoring team. So, to keep them, as you said, to one goal in the first half. Is that it?
Yeah.
One goal. And then even as 53 points at the end, and to win in a grind, 64-53, because we're known for our ability to score too. But no, that was really pleasing to do that, and indicates that we can win in different ways.
Last year, like just for example, that Richmond win in the finals was billed as a shootout, and it was 100.
Yeah.
So in your mind, then were you thinking this is the sort of footy we need to be able to play to be?
Not really. We sort of go into games trying to attack as well as we can and defend as well as we can. So no sort of preconceived ideas about how many points against we'd like to concede. But it's been a real focus of ours all season. So to do that tonight, it was a finals-like game tonight. I mean, it was high intensity pressure from the start. So to be able to do that was good, and we're really aware that Geelong are a good, fast starting team. So our first quarter was important to us tonight, and I think we did that pretty well.
Does it feel more cohesive, that defensive, or I don't know if it's buy-in or your system or what it is, but it seemed like they were struggling. Geelong was struggling to move the ball. You were cutting off all their exits, and it's happened quite a lot in the last since that Hawthorn game. Yeah,
well, we had a focus of it over the pre-season as well. So it's been the biggest thing coming into the year, I would say, that we've spent the most time on. So other than a couple of little glitches, it's been pretty good for us. I think that's a sign of probably a little bit a team maturing when they buy into team defence more than they ever have. And I think our guys have. And they've seen the benefits of that. And we've been a really hard team for most of the year to score against. So it's good.
Is that the evolution you're trying to get with this group this season? You've always been a team that's been able to score quite well and quite freely. Is that where you've sort of seen the next step for this Brisbane team is get better defensively? Yeah,
definitely, because contest and scoring's been pretty good for us for a while. It's almost always the last thing that comes, and I'm not saying it has because we've got a long way to go yet, but I think we've got a better understanding of it. We've got more buy-in to it, and the boys appreciated how important it is. We probably every club's done this, but we watched the Redeem Team documentary in the pre-season about the American basketball team, and they'd lost to one or two Olympics and they'd lost their way, and all the big guns bought into defence and they ended up winning the gold medal. So it's been a bit of a theme of ours during the year. It's good enough for them, it's good enough for us.
Was that, not to sort of read too much into it, but obviously the preliminary final last year, it kind of felt like you just sort of fell to that point and Geelong ran away with it. Is that part of it, and sort of full circle this game?
Probably not that game in particular. Geelong were brilliant. They were playing super football at the right end of the year last year, and I don't know whether you remember, we had to play in two pretty hard finals to actually even get on the oval to play them. So in some ways we were tired and worn out from a long campaign. We were very poor defensively that night, no doubt, but it was a bit of a trend of ours during the season last year too, so it wasn't just that game. We're aware of it. We're always really aware of the things that we're not doing so well. And we never shy away from trying to get better at them. So far we have.